ఇంటర్మీడియట్ విద్యారంగంలో అగ్రగామి మన ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూషన్. ఐఐటి, జేఈఈ అయినా, నీట్ అయినా తిరుగులేని విద్యా సంస్థ ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్.
Sacral spinal nerves are extends on either side of the filum terminal. This spinal nerves along with the filum terminal together called as the cauda equina. Cauda means tail. Cauda means tail. Equina means horse. Because this entire structure is look like as the tail of the horse. This entire structure is look like as the tail of the horse. So that only this entire structure is collectively called as the cauda equina. Cauda equina equal to filum terminal, caudal spinal nerve, sacral spinal nerves, lumbar spinal nerves together constitute the cauda equina. Definitely cauda equina is equal to filum terminal plus sacral spinal nerves plus lumbar spinal nerves plus caudal spinal nerves. So all these structures together constitute tail-like, horse tail-like structure that is said to be as the cauda equina. Again, when we observe the transverse section of the spinal cord, definitely in the case of the transverse section, when we observe the transverse section of the spinal cord, in the transverse section, of the spinal cord, definitely two grooves are very clearly appear. Just assume this is the transverse section of the spinal cord. In this case, spinal cord is divided into two, right and left half by dorsal groove. Similarly, ventrally also, spinal cord gets divided into right and left half ventrally. So definitely like this, in the transverse section, spinal cord gets divided into right and left half dorsally. Ventrally also by a groove that is divided into right and left half. So definitely this is the dorsal or posterior groove. This is said to be as the posterior median sulcus. Definitely whatever the groove which is present dorsally along the length of the spinal cord, that is said to be as the dorsal median sulcus, or this is also called as the posterior median sulcus. This is also called as median sulcus. Similarly, ventrally also, means just assume this is the spinal cord, this is the groove which is present along the length of the dorsal side of the spinal cord. This is said to be as the dorsal median sulcus or posterior median sulcus. Similarly, on the ventral side of the spinal cord also, a deeper groove is present, that is said to be as the ventral median fissure or anterior median fissure. Anterior median fissure or ventral median fissure. Definitely on the ventral side of the spinal cord, whatever the groove which is present like this, that groove is said to be as the ventral median fissure or the anterior median fissure. So definitely inside of this spinal cord, centrally whatever the H-shaped matter which is present, centrally this grey matter is extends in the form of the H shape. Definitely centrally grey matter is extends in the form of the H shape like this. In the center of this spinal cord, grey matter is extends in the form of the H shape. Grey matter is extends in the form of the H shape. In the form of the H shape, grey matter is extends in the center. In the case of the brain, grey matter is present on the peripheral or outer region. But in the case of the spinal cord, grey matter is present in the center. There is a slight difference between the brain and the spinal cord. In the case of the brain of the person, grey matter is present in the outer, white matter is present inner. But in the spinal cord it is completely opposite. Grey matter is present in the center in the spinal cord, white matter is present in the outer or peripheral. So definitely in the case of the spinal cord, this white grey matter which is present, that grey matter gets spreads in the center in the form of the H shape. Then in the case of the grey matter, this is the H-shaped grey matter. In the case of the grey matter of spinal cord, what are the substances which are present? What are the structures which are present means, one is the dendrites, second one is the cytons, third one is the neuroglia, means glial cells, that is the associated cell. Next one is the unmyelinated axons, also present in the case of the H-shaped grey matter. So dendrites are present, cytons are present, neuroglial cells, that is the associated cells, are present, unmyelinated axons also present. Again in the case of the grey matter, this horn-like structures which are present in the dorsal side, this is said to be as the dorsal horn. Definitely this and this one. In the grey matter, these two projections which may be appears on dorsal side, that is said to be as the dorsal horn. Similarly, ventral side also, whatever the projections of grey matter which is present, that is said to be as the ventral horn. That is said to be as the ventral horn. This is the ventral horn, this is the ventral horn. Definitely centrally, whatever the canal which is present, in the center of grey matter, whatever the canal which is present, that is said to be as the central canal or spinal neurocele, that is said to be as the central canal or the spinal neurocele. In the center of the spinal cord, whatever the cavity, whatever the canal which is present, that canal is said to be as the central canal or the spinal neurocele. This central canal is lined with ciliated epithelial cells. Definitely this central canal is lined with ciliated columnar epithelial cells. They are said to be as the ependymal cells. These are said to be as the ependymal cell. Central canal or spinal neurocele is lined with ciliated columnar epithelial cell, that is said to be as the ependymal cells. Ependymal cells. Again, definitely around to that kind of the grey matter, white matter is present. This is said to be as the white matter. This entire is said to be as the white matter. Means in the case of the spinal cord, white matter is present peripherally around to the grey matter. Definitely in the case of the white matter also, lobes are present. This is the dorsal lobe. These two are the dorsal lobes of white matter. These are the lateral lobes of white matter. These are the ventral lobes of the white matter. Dorsal lobe is called as the dorsal funiculi. Dorsal side of the lobes of the white matter is said to be as the dorsal funiculi. Ventral side of the lobes of the white matter is said to be as the ventral funiculi. That is the ventral funiculi. Ventral side of the white matter lobes are said to be as the ventral funiculi. Lateral side of the lobes of the white matter, this is the lateral side of the lobes of white matter. Lateral side of the lobes of white matter is said to be as the lateral funiculi. So definitely in the case of the spinal cord, white matter is present around to the grey matter. In the white matter, bundles of myelinated axons are present. Bundles of myelinated axons are present in the white matter of the spinal cord. Definitely this white matter gets divided into lobes. Dorsally, whatever the white matter lobes are present, that is said to be as the dorsal funiculi. Laterally, whatever the white matter lobes are present, that is said to be as the lateral funiculi. Ventrally, whatever the white matter lobes are present, that is said to be as the ventral funiculi. Next, what are the functions of spinal cord? What are the functions of spinal cord? What are the principal functions means? What are the functions of spinal cord? What are the functions of spinal cord means? First one, spinal cord principally useful to regulate simple reflex reactions. What is the meaning of the reflex reaction? All of a sudden, whatever the reactions, whatever the responses which are evoked in our body, they are said to be as the simple reflex reaction. For example, if we touches our hand to hot object, immediately we withdraw our hand from the effect of the hot object. In this particular procedure, brain may not be gets involved. By involvement of the spinal cord, we can withdraw our hand immediately. That kind of the response is said to be as the simple reflex reaction. So definitely spinal cord is responsible for the simple reflex reaction. For example, if we can if our hand is touches to the hot object, immediately we may be withdraw our hand from the effect of the hot object. So that is nothing but simple reflex reaction. That is mainly due to the involvement of the spinal cord. Second function is that it is middleman. It is middleman between receptors and effectors. What is the meaning of the effector? Muscle or the glands are said to be as the effectors. Either the muscle or gland are said to be as the effectors. Definitely spinal cord always receive the information from the receptors. Spinal cord always receive information from the receptors. Again, later that will send information to the brain. At first spinal cord, how it is acts as the middleman. How this spinal cord is acts as the middleman between the receptors and effectors means, at first it collect the information from the receptor, later it pass it to the brain, again from the brain, again information is collected by the spinal cord. From this spinal cord, that information is sent to muscle, that is the effector organ. By that way, response is finally evoked here. In that way, in receiving the information from the receptor and passing the information to the effectors, it is acts as the middleman between the receptors and effector. At first, it received the information from the receptors, pass it to the brain, again receive the information from the brain, pass it to the muscle for evoking the response. In that way, this spinal cord is principally acts as the middleman between the receptors and effectors. One more important point in NEET examination point of view, spinal cord is the relay station among the nervous system, but within the brain, relay station is nothing but pons varolii. Very important points. Definitely spinal cord is the relay station. Relay station means it conduct the information to the brain and receive the information from the brain to pass it to the muscle. It receive the information from the receptor and conduct it to brain, and receive the information from the brain and conduct it to muscle. In that way, this spinal cord is acts as the relay station or middleman between the receptors and effectors. But within the brain, relay station is nothing but pons varolii. There are two important points in objective. What are they means? First, which of the following is relay station in nervous system of the person? The first NEET question is that. First NEET question is that which of the following is relay station? Which of the following is relay station in nervous system? nervous system means spinal cord. That is the spinal cord. Second question, which of the following is relay station in brain of person? In brain of person means pons varolii. Definitely pons varolii is the relay station within the brain of the person, but of the total nervous system of the person, relay station is spinal cord. This is the central nervous system. Second part is the peripheral nervous system. Second part is the peripheral nervous system. Next part is said to be as the PNS, that is the peripheral nervous system. Simply that is called as the PNS. Definitely peripheral nervous system includes two types of the nerves. In the peripheral nervous system, principally four divisions are present. One is the cranial nerves, second one is the spinal nerves, third one is the somatic nervous system, fourth one is the autonomic nervous system. Autonomic nervous system. Definitely in the case of the nervous system of the person, second one is the peripheral nervous system. In the peripheral nervous system, first type of the nerves are the cranial nerves, second type of the nerves are the spinal nerve, third one is the somatic nervous system, fourth one is the autonomic nervous system. Then how many pairs of the cranial nerves are present means 12 pairs of the cranial nerves are present in the case of the human. Cranial nerves means nerves which may be arises from the various parts of the brain. Nerves which may be arises from the various parts of the brain. That kind of the nerves are said to be as the cranial nerves. They are 12 pairs. Instead of that, from the various parts of the spinal cord, if this nerves are gets arises, then they are said to be as the spinal nerves. They are 31 pairs. Definitely they are 31 pairs. At first, when we observe the first type of the nerves, that is the cranial nerves, definitely 12 pairs of the cranial nerves are present in the human body. First one is the cranial nerves. They are 12 pairs. That means 24 in number. What are the 12 pairs of the cranial nerves which are present in a sequence? What is their nature means? First pair is the olfactory nerves. These are sensory in nature. Means always they receive the sensory information from the sense organ, they send it to the brain. So they are sensory. If they maybe receive the sensory information from the sense organ, then we can say that is the sensory. Second one is the optic. Nerves are the second pair of the cranial nerve. These are also sensory in nature. Definitely they also receive the information from the retina, that is the sense organ, finally send it to the brain. So they are sensory. Third pair is the oculomotor. Oculomotor nerve, that is the third pair. This is the motor nerve. Means if this nerve receive the information from the brain and pass it to muscle or gland, then we can say that is the motor. Any kind of the nerve, if it can be receive the information from the brain, if it can be passed to the muscle or gland, then we can say that is the motor. Again, fourth pair is the pathetic or trochlear nerve. This is also motor in nature, that also pass the message to the muscle. This is the smallest cranial nerve. Fourth nerve is the smallest cranial nerve. Trochlear nerve is the smallest cranial nerve. Fifth one is the trigeminal nerve. This is the mixed in nature. Any kind of the nerve, if it is with both sensory fibers as well as the motor fiber, then we can say that is the mixed. Definitely trigeminal nerve receive sensory information from the sense organs and pass it to the brain, and also receive the motor information from the brain, pass it to the muscle. It has the capacity to receive the sensory information from sense organ and also receive the information from the brain and pass to the muscle. So that only that is said to be as the mixed. Any type of the nerve, if it is with both sensory as well as the motor fiber, then we can say that is the mixed. Definitely it is mixed. It is the longest cranial nerve, but not largest. It is the longest cranial nerve. Sixth one is the abducens. Abducens nerve. This is also motor in nature. Seventh one is the facial nerve. This is also motor in nature. Eighth one is the auditory nerve. This is the sensory in nature. That is the sensory in nature. Again, ninth one is glossopharyngeal. Glossopharyngeal nerve. That is the mixed nerve. Sorry, here it is mixed. Seventh is also mixed in nature. Again, 10th one is the vagus. Vagus nerve. This is also mixed in nature. This is the largest cranial nerve. This is the largest cranial nerve. That is the 10th nerve, that is the vagus, that is the largest cranial nerve. 11th one is the spinal accessory nerves, that is the motor in nature. 12th is the hypoglossal. Now this is also motor. Definite in the case of the peripheral nervous system, 12 pairs of the cranial nerves are present. Of that, first pair of the nerve is the olfactory nerve, that is the sensory. Second pair is the optic nerve, that is the sensory. Third pair is the oculomotor nerve, that is the motor. Fourth pair is the pathetic or the trochlear nerve, that is the motor in nature. This is the smallest cranial nerve. Fifth one is the trigeminal nerve, that is the mixed. This is the longest cranial nerve. Sixth one is the abducens nerve, that is motor in nature. Facial nerve is the seventh, that is the mixed in nature. Eighth one is the auditory nerve, that is sensory. Ninth one is the glossopharyngeal nerve, that is mixed in nature. 10th one is the vagus nerve, that is mixed in nature, that is the largest cranial nerve. 11th pair is the spinal accessory, that is the motor. 12th pair is the hypoglossal, that's also motor. To simply remember this kind of the 12 pairs of the cranial nerves in a sequence, simple technique is Upta, Upta, Fagvu, SH. Upta, Fagvu, SH means O represent olfactory, second O represent optic, third O represent oculomotor, P represent pathetic, T represent trigeminal, A represent abducens, F represent facial, A represent auditory, G represent glossopharyngeal, V represent vagus, S represent spinal accessory, H represent hypoglossal. Upta, Fagvu, SH is the simple technique to remember this kind of the 12 pair of the cranial nerves in a sequence. Then what are the details of this cranial nerves? What is the details of this cranial nerves? Means, if we can observe this 12 pairs of the cranial nerves in the form of the table, it becomes very easy to easily remember. So what is the table means? Name of cranial nerve, name of cranial nerve, next to nature, whether it is sensory, whether it is motor, whether it is mixed, is the nature. Next to arises from where it is gets arises from. Next in column, receive information from, definitely from where that receives the information, receive information from. In next column, conduct information to which part that passes the message is nothing but conduct information to. So of this first cranial nerve is olfactory nerve is the first cranial nerve, first pair of the cranial nerve. It is sensory Definitely it always receive the sensor information from the sense organ. So it is the sensory, it arises from olfactory epithelium of nose. Definitely this olfactory nerve always arises from the olfactory epithelium of nose. It receives information from olfactory epithelium of nose. It always receives the sensory information from the olfactory epithelium of nose, conducting information to, means it conduct information to temporal lobe. Temporal lobe of cerebrum, where that information is analyzed. By that way, smell of substance is recognized. Next, second cranial nerve is the first cranial nerve, that is the olfactory nerve. That is sensory in nature, that always arises from the olfactory epithelium of nose, that receive the sensory information from the olfactory epithelium of nose, that pass that collected information to the temporal lobe of the cerebrum. Second one is the optic nerve. That is the second cranial nerve, second pair of the cranial nerve. This is also sensory in nature. It always arises from retina of eye. In the case of the eye of the person, innermost layer is said to be as the retina. From the retina of eye, this optic nerve arises. It always receives information from the retina of eye. It receives the sensory information from the retina of eye, conduct it to occipital lobe of cerebrum. Definitely this optic nerve always arises from the retina of eye. It always receives the sensory information from the retina of eye, conduct it to occipital lobe of the cerebrum, where that is analyzed for vision or for accurate sight. Third one is the oculomotor. Oculomotor nerve. Definitely this is the motor in nature. Motor means that always carries motor information to the muscle. That always carries motor information to the muscle, but not from the sense organ. It is arises from flora of midbrain. Definitely oculomotor is always arises from the flora of the midbrain. It receive information from the midbrain. It receive information from midbrain. Definitely it receive the information from the midbrain and pass it to conduct information to muscles of eye. So definitely what kind of the muscles to what kind of the muscles of eye? Oculomotor conduct information means to the inferior oblique muscle of eye, to the superior rectus muscle of eye, inferior rectus muscle of eye, medial rectus muscle, iris muscle to the ciliary muscle of eye. So definitely oculomotor nerve always receive this motor information from the midbrain. Oculomotor nerve always receive this motor information from the midbrain and pass it to muscles of eye. To what kind of the muscles of eye? Inferior oblique muscle, superior rectus muscle, inferior rectus muscle, medial rectus muscle, iris muscle, ciliary muscle. All this kind of the muscles are belongs to eye. To this kind of the muscle, this oculomotor cranial nerve carries the motor information from the midbrain to muscles of this eye. Next to